You know, I've always had this thing where I wonder and I ponder stuff. I like to ask questions. I like to know why. I like to pose theories, or maybe something goes like this or goes like that because of this. It what keeps me intrigued with stuff. It's my curiosity, I guess. So what I thought, I was like, you know what? I've been thinking of something new I wanted to do on YouTube, kind of a series that I can do on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Why don't I just do this with video games? So I would like to welcome y'all to my initial episode of the series I like to call Too Literal, where I essentially take a look at a video game series, something with gaming, and I just ask questions on it, and I see if these are legit questions or if I'm being too literal on the sense of it. Also want to get feedback from you guys and see what you guys think, some of the answers you come up with, and what you guys want to ask about the game too. So today's episode, we're going to be doing the game that I've been hyped about ever since it was announced a couple of years ago, and that I've been waiting 5 years since I finished the last one to play, which is Mass Effect Andromeda. At the time of this video, this game should be coming out tomorrow on March 21st for the full release, and I'm going to be asking a couple of questions that I had when I played the early access of it. So I'm only about 5-6 hours into the game, so it's real early stuff. Now, this is a spoilers warning because I will be asking questions about some plot specific stuff that happens at the beginning of the game. So if you don't want to be spoiled, which I'm probably sure at the time of this recording that this thing that I'm asking about everybody probably knows, and there's probably like memes about it too as well, then just mute the video. Still watch me because I love you. First thing I want to know, and this is literally the first thing that I thought of when I first turned on the game and I saw this character. Why does Liam look like Childish Gambino? I mean, he doesn't sound like him, but he literally looks like Childish Gambino in space. I was thinking, is like, are we gonna like bust out in a song? Are you about to like start saying jokes and stuff? And he is, in a sense, kind of the comedic relief a little bit in the game as well. So like, why does he look like Childish Gambino? I made my character black too, so they both black with the afro, so more power to him. Now, slight spoiler for this one, because this is, I'm probably sure everybody's wondered this. So whenever they touched the remnant technology and they got the little clouds that were like messing up the planet to go away, when Daddy Ryder and Son Ryder, Alec Ryder and Scott Ryder, the characters, when they got blew out of the cave, why didn't Scott Ryder just fix his shield with his Omni tool like he did, I don't know, an hour earlier when he crash landed on the planet? Literally, when you start the Habitat 7 mission or start that part of the mission, you get shot out of, well, I ain't gonna say shot out of the air, but your shuttle gets blown up, so you get thrown out of your shuttle and you land on the ground and like half of your shuttle is broken. He literally just does his Omni tool and fixes it. So why didn't he do the same thing at the end of the mission? Like, did he only have one Omni gel? Like, was it so much that he couldn't fix it? Like, I don't know, was his Omni tool broken? Like, nothing's really explained. And like, literally every time I've seen this or seen somebody stream it on Twitch, they ask, is like, didn't you just fix your face shield with your Omni tool like at the beginning of the mission? Part 2 to this question. So when Alec Ryder, the father, finds his son Scott and his broken mask and him like choking to death, so he gives him his helmet. Why don't they just take turns wearing the helmet? They said it only takes about 3 minutes until somebody gets there. Like, they're like military trained humans, so they're at peak physical condition. I'm sure they can hold their breath for at least 40 seconds apiece. So why don't they just take turns holding the helmet? And Sam is there too. Like, he can't like construct some sort of digital mask for him to wear and all this. I don't know. It, like, to me, it seemed like that the father died on purpose because he could have easily saved himself or something like that. I don't know. That's just me. It was weird. It's like, I get it. They want to do it for plot specific reasons, but like the way that I guess they killed him off was just weird as hell to me. If y'all have played the early access or played the beginning of the game, you know that the Nexus is like essentially the citadel for the Mass Effect Andromeda. That's where the governing body is going to be. So when the Nexus and all those other arcs came to Andromeda, why did they send 100,000 people to a galaxy that's 2 million light years away that has yet to be explored by them? Don't you think it would kind of make sense to send, I don't know, maybe a smaller crew of a couple of hundred people to go check it out first to make sure that, you know, you don't meet aliens that want to kill you or it's even habitable? And secondly, if they have like long range scanners that they can scan the planets from, I'm assuming, the Milky Way, like, why don't you just send a smaller team there first before you send 100,000 people who ultimately are either going to die or don't know what they got to do? Like, do a little bit of scouting first before that. Second thing, who sent them to the Andromeda Galaxy? Like, at the time that I'm reading the game takes place 600 years after Mass Effect 3. So it's like way after like Shepard and all of his stuff. They were sent out around the time of Mass Effect 2, like towards the beginning or middle, sometime in Mass Effect 2 when Shepard was doing his little, you know, came back from the dead thing. So who sent them? Was it the council that sent them? Was somebody else that sent them? Did they send them because they knew that the Reapers were about to come and mess stuff up? Because at that time the council still didn't believe Shepard about like the Reapers actually being a real thing. They thought they were just kind of folklore. So my whole thing is like, who set the initiative there? Like, whose idea was it to be like, you know what, our galaxy may not be good, we may mess it up in a couple of years, we're gonna go to another galaxy 2 million light years away and then try to find planets there? I'm like, whose idea was this? Maybe we'll find out in the game. I'm not sure, I haven't gone that far. Also, one thing that I've noticed, so Cora Harper's name, pretty cool name, right? So the elusive man's name from Mass Effect 2 and 3, his name is Jack Harper. Quite a coincidence. I think she may be his daughter, wife, sister, niece, something. I think she's somehow related to it. I found this out when watching the stream when somebody said, oh, the elusive man's name was Jack Harper. And I was like, I did not know that. I personally think that's going to be something that they're going to do in the game, where it's going to be like, oh, my father's name was Jack Harper. Maybe not something that they just focus so much on, but kind of like a slight thing that they'll throw in, that if you know the Mass Effect lore, that it'll be something that all the people that play Mass Effect know. And the last thing, and this is the last thing that I just thought of with playing the early impressions of the game. So the main villain, Ket Archins, however you pronounce his name. Why is his head shaped like a ring? Like, literally, why is his head essentially a freaking wedding ring? It's like they took a wedding ring and took the diamond part at the top and like put it towards the edge and like, bam, that's our main villain. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Kess design, even though all their faces look the same, which is oddly weird. But I love their like color things, like light blue armor shit on the dark blue skin. And then the main villain's cape is like fucking badass, even though he walks kind of weird after that scene when he finds out that they touched the remnant technology and they just kind of walked out like he was portly, like he walked out like a short portly dude, all stocky and stuff. But my whole thing is like, don't get me wrong, I love their design, but like, why is it shaped like a ring? And his is the only one that's shaped like a ring too. Like, what happens when like a bigger monster comes through and tries to put him on like a ring on his finger? Like, so like all the cat like that, whenever they want to grow dreads, do they just like hang stuff on the back of their head? Like, how would he put on a hat? How would he put on a hood? Like, does it, when it rains, does like the rain go through the hole in his head? Does that hurt him? Is it like, I don't know, it's weird, it's awkward. Like, that design of it was just awkward. It just felt really awkward looking at. I was like, oh, this is the main bad guy. He looks badass, but I can't take you serious with that ring or hole. I don't even want to call it a hole. It looks like a ring. Like, I don't know. That's it. But those are all the questions that I have here. I want to hear some feedback from you guys. Let me know down below what you guys think of the questions I asked today, or if you have any other questions yourself that you want to know about the game. Also, leave me some feedback on other game series that you want. I have a couple in the books that I'm going to be doing videos on later on this month and next month. So we'll have a couple of these rolling out. Do appreciate everybody watching, and y'all just gotta let me know, are these legit questions or am I just being too literal?